When users first get into Cubed, what they see is their dashboards. Now you can have as many dashboards as you like, and each one of these dashboards really just give you access to different sections of information. So you can have your finance dashboard or your introduction dashboard. You can see this one here has several different charts which essentially are just providing breakdowns of key information or key trends, and this can be updated regularly, automatically, so you can just have it sitting and running on your desktop. The next thing users can do is they can use a Google type search. So maybe they're interested in revenue, so they go and do a search for revenue. This could be the hotel manager or the Department of Tourism looking at this. Maybe once they find something, they see origin of reservation by gender for current year, so they're interested in finding out how people are registering to stay at their hotel. So they click on the chart button to open it as a chart, but they could also use a grid or a traffic light or a map. All of these things are built in and easily extendable, so it's quite simple to change the look and feel of the system. You can see here that all of our visitors for the current period are male, so this might be for the current month or year. And you can see that most of them are walking in off the street, so there's not many people booking through the central office or through the internet. Now I can do another search for revenue and just see if I can find any other interesting reports. So again, this would be a hotel manager or a business unit manager just going in and having a look at the performance of their areas. Now I could have a look at another particular area, so maybe I want to look at purpose of visit by origin of reservation. What this report is really doing is breaking it down across, again, those different dimensions. We're looking here at vacation travel, so some people on vacation book through the telephone, but most are booking through other areas like walk-in. For business travel, they use the telephone as well. And as far as other things go, we've also got this large amount of unknown people, who some of which are booking through, say, email, others are booking through the central office or unclassified corporate, the head office. What this is showing us as well is that the front desk staff, when people are checking in, aren't asking them the purpose of their visit. So even that is important for a hotel to start gathering that critical information. The next level of the Hotel Intelligence Gateway is really that users aren't just restricted to reports which are pre-built by developers, but they can actually dynamically build reports for themselves. This can be done by virtually any user who has had a day-long training session. They can come in and start to do this themselves. So what they might decide to do is they need to decide the model. So we can have models maybe for financials or for stock control. The one that we're going to look at is for hotels in particular, so it's the actual reservation and the revenue rates. So maybe they want to break down the purpose of visit. And essentially the purpose of visit, they just want to look at the lowest level of information, which might be business or pleasure. And what they need to decide is where they want to put that information. They want to put it on columns or rows. So let me put it on the columns to begin with. Now, let me take this and compare it against department. And obviously I've already got purpose of visit on the columns, so I'm going to add this to the rows. But I'm going to look at, say, department level 1, which is going to be the high level food and beverage, room revenue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to the rows. And then pretty much my report's close to being done. So I'm saying I want to look at purpose of visit by department. The only other thing I need to do is decide in which way I want to report this or the measure. Now in this model I've got here, we've got measures for adult guests and room revenue, but you can add as many as you like. So you could have profit. You could actually look at revenue against expenses and put that into the equation as well. So you could actually look at department profit by type of visit. That'll really just show you if you've got expenses that are designed for different areas. It breaks it down so you can actually see, well, it's more expensive to have a customer on business using the health spa, so let's not offer it to them. Now once I've done that, I can pretty much run this report and see what happens. It's analysing data over 30, 40, 50 different systems, and it can bring the information back at a high level for the Department of Tourism or an individual hotel. Here for this period you can see that most of our visitors are here on vacation, some are here on business, but most are unknown. So again, that comes back to what I was saying earlier about people not capturing information. And we've only really got records for room revenue here, probably because for this particular period no one spent any other money. What I can do now, I've got this information though, is I can decide to chart it. And Qt becomes out of the box with hundreds of different ways of charting and visualizing information, whether it's mapping, if it's regional information, or charts. Let me just break this down and maybe do it on a stacked bar chart, which just is basically a different way of visualizing. And as the builder of this report, as a business owner, I don't need to know anything about the back-end system, but I can just have a look at that and go, yep, that shows a pretty mean story. Events and banquets, extras, food and beverage are all making no money at the moment, and out of all of this, we don't really know where our room revenue is coming from, so we need to get our front desk staff in order. If they start doing that, what we can say is, okay, well, business and vacation is pretty much split 50-50. Once I'm happy with my report, I can actually choose to save it. I can give it a name, so room revenue by department and purpose of visit. I can add some keywords, so this is maybe about profit, it's for managers, and then I can give a description, so shows a breakdown room revenue by purpose of visit. For example, the weather is business or pleasure. I can decide what category, so maybe it's going to be just a default. This is just a way of viewing information, and this isn't really relevant to a map or traffic light or gauge because it's just really simple information. So maybe now I've got my manager who comes in and says, oh, I want to have a look at all of the managers' reports. And immediately this shows up as one of those managers' reports because that's a keyword.
And as a manager I can say, oh, this is really interesting, show me the chart. I can choose to add this to my dashboard. And that means from now on it's going to come up on my dashboard and I don't even need to go hunting for it.